if somehow Christianity was dominant and you could privilege Christianity through policies that would, basically through force of law, privilege Christian belief, incentivize conversion to Christianity, even punish blasphemy, let's say, but you can strike that if you don't want it. There's still law and order. You're not forcing anyone to convert, but you're just establishing a system where Christianity is privileged. And you said right now that yes, you would want that kind of system because Christianity is the best. So you want a system. You want a system like you're the king, but you would have like a Muslim vice president or vice king, and your administration would have Hindus and Buddhists and Muslims, because it's freedom and equality for all, right? According to your system, right? Yes or no?
Let me just give you my view because it might help you understand things.
No, just answer the question. Just answer the question. You have these very long answers, David.
Daniel, this brilliant scientist, cannot understand the difference of people wanting things or wanting a specific outcome and the means to achieve these things. For example, Daniel, I want $1 million. I can get this $1 million by hard working or by robbing a bank. There is a small difference, though, eh? The same way David Wood wants a Christian world, but he's not willing to become a dictator to achieve that. Get now the difference, you brilliant scientist. Okay, this idiot, look how he named this video. David Wood's debate fails. That was the fail of David Wood. Daniel, you are an utter buffoon. Give it up, my friend. You don't have it.
You can just say yes or no. Why can't you say yes or no?
There's a huge misunderstanding here. You assume that political power is good in the sense of if your group can get into political power, then you can implement your policies. I view political power as something that will corrupt people once they have it, almost inevitably. So if you take Christians who for 3 centuries have never crossed their minds to get violent, suddenly you give them a bunch of political power and they've been persecuted for centuries now. It's a pretty natural inclination to say, all right, now we have to stop and never be in that situation again. So let's go out and strive for to maintain this sort of political power.
So you think that Christians should never have power? Because power corrupts, so Christians should never strive to have power? You want to live in a world where Christians are always being dominated by other groups?
Daniel, there is something called religion. I know you don't know this word, and the only words you know is political ideology. Okay, there are things called religion. Religion is not meant to conquer the world militarily. Religion is meant for spirituality, to build a moral character. Okay, when you give religious people, women, power, money, you corrupt their moral character, potentially. And they become like Muhammad, your prophet. Christianity is not meant for political power in the way you imply it, because this is not what religions are meant to be. You don't have a religion. Islam is not a religion, it's a political ideology. Of course, it's not even a political ideology, it's a mental disease. But this is religion. Look it up on Google. Google religion. Daniel, Google religion. Okay, Islam is not in the category of religion like Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism. Islam is in the category of Nazism and communism. Can you understand the difference? Of course, in reality, it's not in the category of Nazism and communism. It's in the category of coronavirus, AIDS. Okay.
Not what I'm saying. Not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying
there are two choices here, David. Christians are dominant. They have a dominant system that privileges Christianity, or Christians are being dominated. Those are the only two options, logically. Which one do you prefer?
Islam seeks domination by all means. This amoral mental disease has no ethos. They just want to dominate.
Jihadis want to expand, and contrary to the claims of Western journalists and propagandists, Islam expands through terrorism, mass murder, beheadings, stoning, oppression, rape, kidnapping, forced marriage, torture, burning churches, and burning Christians.
Christianity, in contrast, want to dominate, but they are not willing to sell their soul to the devil to do that. Instead, the followers of Jesus Christ convince people with love and rationale. If the world doesn't become Christian, so be it. Christians are meant to save as many souls as they can and expected to be prosecuted in the process. What Daniel doesn't understand is that good in this world is rewarded. Christianity, exactly because it's good for the world, it will survive the secular world. The kind of Islam Daniel represents has no chance to survive whatsoever. It's already dead. The type of political Islam Daniel dreams and advocates is already dead. It's impossible to survive the modern world. But Daniel, don't believe me, you can test that. In debates, you can say you're bullshit. Go in a parliament or go out in the society and try to implement your ideas and see what happens. And see for how many minutes you will survive doing that. The second, my friend, you have power, you will end up in jail or worse with this kind of ideas. So, not even in your own argument you don't prevail, yet alone morally and in ethics or in logic.
I would not trust a system where Christians dominate and enforce Christianity on other people.
So you want atheists? You want atheists to be dominant?
I don't trust
Or
any of them.
Muslims.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point. I don't trust anyone who's going to be implementing these kinds of policies. That's why, if you're going to do anything, the best case scenario would be something that is best for the most people, where the government actually says, okay, there are certain things that we're not going to interfere with. If you guys get violent, then yes, we have to interfere with it. If one group is going to subjugate another group, Daniel, you're free to walk down the street and preach your religion. I'm free to walk down the street and
No, you're not.
preach my religion.
You're not free to preach your religion. This is something else I wanted to respond to. You're not free to preach the Bible. Go to any European secular country. There are hate speech laws. There in Finland, they just put someone in prison for sharing verses.
Then they would be screwed up. Then that would be messed up. If you're punishing people
It's
for
hate speech.
For hate speech.
Yeah, it's hate speech. No. How is that? The
Notice,
secular justification. The secular justification is that these verses are hateful. You can't teach these verses.
This guy is a joker. Okay, he's a joker. The Quran is pure hate speech and terrorist propaganda. Yet you are free to preach this evil, demonstrably harmful nonsense in secular countries. What's the problem? What is your claim that you cannot preach the Quran in secular countries as we speak? Are you serious? Isn't that what you are doing every day?
Because I don't, but that's the point. I don't want governments to have that kind of authority over people, because inevitably they become corrupt and start crushing people. It's very simple. Don't stop me from saying what I want to say unless I'm calling for violence or something like that. You're saying they're doing it too. Great. Then I don't like it when they do it. I don't like it when they do it. I don't like it when Muslims do it. If Christians do it, I wouldn't like it when Christians do it.
Daniel, you are an utter buffoon. Okay, so I will address you like I would have addressed a 6-year-old kid. Okay, Daniel, I know that you keep making this argument for years now, but that's because you are utterly dumb. I know you won't understand, but let's try again. In Christianity, the violent verses are just stories, are not direct commands for violence. The same way in secular countries we allow horror movies or thrillers, the same way we allow the Bible having violence in stories. The difference with the Quran, you imbecile, is that the Quran is direct commands for violence. Okay, I know you won't get it until you die because you are an Islamist, therefore mentally retarded. But what can we do? Okay, we will keep saying that. We know that you will never get that. It's mission impossible. Okay, it's a square cycle. It's like going, faster than the speed of light. It cannot be done with Islamists. Okay, because your mind is corrupted. There is no, you never learn, my friend. Okay, but what can we do? Anyway.
You want Christians to be dominated, so that means you
No,
want...
it's not. No, it's not. I would like a government that does not, that doesn't dominate us, right?
So you want a secular liberal, you want a secular liberal government.
You're asking me what kind of government I would prefer. It would not be any sort of government that is oppressing me or telling me I can't preach the gospel or anything like that.
Look what this idiot keeps saying. What about the violent Bible verses, David? Give me, Daniel, give us a secular country in this planet that bans the Bible or even the Quran. We have demonstrable evidence that the Quran brings terrorism. It fucks the world without mercy. And still, we don't ban the Quran. So, what's your fucking problem, my friend? In what planet are you living? We are talking about planet Earth, my friend. What are you talking about? When did secular countries ban the Bible or even the Quran or any other religious book? When did that happen? Never.
I'd be fine with a king if he's a good king. I'd be fine with democracy if it's pretty fairly well informed people who.
David, nobody gives a rat's ass for what political systems are you deluded cultists fine with. Why are you making this argumentation? You know I love you, David, but why are you making this kind of argumentation and you are letting the other buffoon make arguments? Why? Secular democracy, there is no other political system. Every other political system is dictatorship. It will never happen because people will simply not lay down for you maniacs to dictate them. Okay, that goes for Daniel Haqiqatjou, not for David. David is a very good person. But seriously.
Aren't sending us into insanity and so on. So I'm fine with I'm fine with a variety of. Daniel,
what is it? Tell me what this government is.
I have no concept of here's the government that I want to impose on the world. And you're saying, David, what kind of government would you impose? I don't want to impose.
How can you
I don't
criticize?
Want to impose anything.
No. You can't criticize Islam and Islamic governance
Of
and
course
Islamic
I can.
law if you don't have an alternative. What is the alternative? What is the alternative? I'm saying that Islam is the best alternative. Islam is the best alternative, and you're saying no, it's not. Okay, so give me your alternative.
I would say
clearly it's not a Christian-dominated alternative. Islam, yes, it has discrimination, but it's actually discrimination that is more favorable to Christians, and there is literally not a single alternative. There is literally not a single alternative to Islamic law that David can propose that is better for Christians, and that's why you're floundering, David. You can't give me an example.
Where in the world is the worst place to be a Christian? Persecution of Christians has increased dramatically in parts of the world. Here we list the top 25 most anti-Christian countries. So we start, North Korea. Somalia, Islam is the state religion, and converting to another religion is illegal. The Islamist group Al-Shabaab has stated that it wants to rid Somalia of all Christians. Then Iraq. An estimated of 100,000 people fled their homes in Mosul, a city in a largely Christian region. There have been public execution-style killings of Christians by ISIS, some of them recorded and broadcast for propaganda purposes, and most churches have been demolished. Syria, an estimated 700,000 Christians have fled Syria. Christians are often abducted and killed. Afghanistan, there are few Christian believers in Afghanistan. Those that exist must keep their faith secret or risk being rejected by their families or even killed. Sudan, converting from Islam to another religion is punishable by death. Sudan also has blasphemy laws under which many Christians have been imprisoned. Iran, Islam is the official religion, and any ethnic Persian who converts to Christianity is considered apostate. Churches are monitored and raided by the government, and at least 75 Christians were arrested the last years. Pakistan. Christians in Pakistan are often treated as second-class citizens. Christian women and children can be targets of sexual abuse. Blasphemy laws are abused to attack followers, and churches are monitored and sometimes raided. Okay, and the list goes on. Eritrea, Nigeria, Maldives. What it says here, converting from Islam means forfeiting Maldivian citizenship. Saudi Arabia, Libya, Yemen. Yemen Christians must keep their faith secret. Okay, let's continue. Uzbekistan. Is this a Muslim country? Yes, it is. Converts from Islam face the harshest punishment for their faith in Uzbekistan. Vietnam. This is a communist country. Central African Republic. Is that related to Islam? Let's see. I don't know. Rebels and Muslims from neighboring countries. So that is Islam again. Qatar. Islam is the official religion of Qatar, and only Muslims are permitted to worship publicly. Kenya. After terrorist attacks on religious buildings and other targets, many churches hired armed guards. So churches with armed guards. Islamist gunmen. Okay, so that is Islam also. Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan ruling party sees Christians as dangerous and requires all churches to be registered and strictly monitored. Unregistered churches are infiltrated by informers, and their members may be threatened, arrested, and fined. Look, guys, the psychopath Islamists even put secret agents on churches. India, also prosecution there by Muslims, but there are also Hindus that are doing prosecution. Ethiopia, there again, Islam. Many happen in Muslim-dominated areas, so that's Islam again. Egypt, again Islam. Converts from Islam have faced persecution, okay. Djibouti is again Islam. Radical Islam is increasing in Djibouti. Okay, let's go further. Burma. In 2000, I don't know what that is. The Christians were killed in clashes with the army. Okay, that's not Islamic. So from all these countries, let's see how many are Islamic. From 25 worst places to be a Christian in this world, 22 are because of Islam. Islam is not only not a good political system to be a Christian under, is the number one reason for Christian persecution in this world.
By the gods, an owl.
Golden owl.